Garden of Eden. Every Tuesday night before the ORI Zoom meeting, I ask the powers that be to show me or tell me something. One Tuesday evening, Harold McCoy came to me and asked if he could take me somewhere. I never hesitate to go with Harold. We have the most amazing adventures. We took flight as we always do. When we landed, we were on the edge of a forest. To the right, I saw a path but couldn't see where it led. I looked at Harold and asked, "Where are we?" Harold replied, "This is the Garden of Eden." The Garden of Eden? Wow. I had 100 questions. I didn't even get one question out before I found myself back in my house. I heard Harold say in the distance, "This is for you to find out." Every single day when I walked, I asked and I asked. I asked God. I asked the powers that be. I was relentless. Slowly, I started getting the answers I wanted. For some reason, I got the story backwards. I would get a little at a time, starting at the end and ending at the beginning. This is the story of the Garden of Eden, the beginning of us, the beginning of life on the planet Earth, as told to me by God and the powers that be. Please join me on this journey. There is a space. I don't know exactly where it is. I can see it. It looks like it's somewhere in the solar system, maybe. It's a neutral space. There is no activity. It's very quiet. No movement at all. After Earth was created, the powers that be felt there should be more. There were trees and water. There was beauty everywhere, but there was no life. So the powers that be had a thought. They wanted life on this planet. At the first thought, the space began to rumble. Then the powers that be went to God and asked him to create life on the planet Earth. The rumble grew more powerful. Along with the rumbling came what looked like lightning. When God said yes, the space was filled with electricity. The solar system shook violently. Then there was a huge explosion and trillions of orbs of light exploded into the sky. This space is where creation happens. It begins with a thought and ends with an event. Just as suddenly as it happened, the space was calm again. This space is where all life is created. This is where you were created. Of course, there is more to this story. However, today we are focusing on where you came to be, your purpose, and who is guiding you through every step of the way. I want you now to take a deep breath, close your eyes, and join Harold and I as we journey to the Garden of Eden. As always, in your mind's eye, go outside where Harold is waiting. We will not be going as a group. This is an individual journey. We, you, Harold, and I, are now standing at the edge of a forest. Feel the sun on your face. Smell the flowers in the air. Experience the serenity and beauty in this space. Look to the right of you. Do you see the path? Look very close. There it is. This is the path that leads to the Garden of Eden. This is where you came into body. This is your birthplace. When you are asked where you were born, you can answer the Garden of Eden. All births after that are rebirths. We're now walking along the path. Up ahead we see a clearing. There in the clearing is a brilliant white light. What you see there is breathtaking. In the middle of the clearing are two huge, magnificent hands. They are in the middle of the clearing, floating, palms up as if waiting to be filled. These are the hands of the Creator. I call this energy God, although you can use any name you wish. I also use the pronoun he for God. Of course, there is no gender in God's energy field. As we observe, we hear a great boom, and suddenly there is an explosion of light. There are trillions of beautiful light orbs completely covering the sky. In fact, you can hardly see the sky at all. There are so many. These orbs are every single species of life that has been created for this planet. God left none out. As we watch, we see God divide the orbs into groups. He then puts those he calls human to the side. All the others are simple. We see God separate the bugs from the birds, the reptiles from the fish. As we watch in amazement, God sorts through each one, blesses them, and sends them on their way. Over and over, we see the beautiful, clear orbs as they are transformed into living beings. One orb becomes an eagle. One becomes a butterfly. On and on until all that remain are the human beings. The humans are the tricky ones. The rest are easy. Now, I want you to close your eyes. When you open them, you see you are now a brilliant orb floating in the sky. Feel the purity and innocence as you float along in the breeze. You are now a clear quartz crystal. You are flawless. As you look out into the garden, you realize you have no thoughts, no memories. You have never felt this kind of sensation before. In fact, you have never felt any kind of sensation before. This is the beginning of you. Now I want you to feel yourself drifting into God's hands. Slowly, slowly feel yourself fall into His hands. You're as light as a feather. All you feel is unconditional peace and love. You hear God talking to you in a very soft voice. The voice is so soothing. He is giving you a purpose for your lives. I want you to listen closely. This is who you are created to be. This is your purpose. Always is, always will be. The purpose in some of your lives will be crystal clear. Other lives will be very subtle. God may say you are a healer, maybe a teacher, maybe a poet. Your purpose is uniquely yours. I want you to take a few seconds to listen. After giving you your purpose, it is now time for the creation of you. God then throws his hands into the air and says, "Go and express your purpose." Suddenly you are flying high into the air. As you come down, you realize you have a body. As you come down, you form this body beginning with your head and continuing to your feet. Just like magic, there you are. I want you to feel the sensation of being in a body for the very first time. Look at yourself. What do you see? Feel your face. Feel the softness of your skin. Smell the fragrance of you. Put your hand on your chest. What is that sensation? That is your heart. That is your life force. How incredible is that? Now I want you to turn around. In front of you are three beings. There is one to the left, one to the right, and one in the middle. The beings to the left and right of you are your primary guides. These beings are given to you by God to help you navigate through your many lifetimes. They are your first guides. There will be many more guides from lifetime to lifetime. Some will come and some will go according to your soul's evolution, but these two will always be with you. They will shift and grow with you, always helping you navigate your way. Look at them. Look into their eyes. See them. Feel them. They are your family. They will always be with you in all ways. Now I want you to look at the being in the middle. Do you feel yourself catching your breath in excitement? You feel this being in your soul. The love is radiating. This is your guardian angel. Although we know there is no gender, this one tends to lean toward what we would call the feminine side. God is telling me this one is your original mother. This beautiful being is here to watch over you. She will take care of you. She will love you unconditionally through every lifetime. She will never judge you. She will give you guidance. She will always be there for you in all ways. Please take a bit of time to get to know your guardian angel and your guides. Ask their names. Study their features. You may have seen them from time to time. You may have seen them in the face of the kind stranger who helped you in a time of need. They may have come to you in your dreams. Feel the deep, rich energy coming from them. This is pure, unconditional love. Breathe it in. Now that you know this feeling, never let it go. As you stand there with your guides, guardian angel, and God, I want you to take a look around. At this time, I'm going to ask you to stay a minute more and integrate this experience with your present body and identity. Breathe in the magic of creation. It is now time to come back to your present life. It is time to share hugs, tears of joy, and abundant love. Now close your eyes and take a deep breath. Harold is here to take you by the hand and bring you back to the now. He doesn't want to disturb your serenity, so he simply leaves you with a touch of his hand and a smile. Such a simple gesture, yet so powerful. I am so grateful to have gone on this journey. I'm even more grateful and blessed to have been able to share with you all. Never, ever forget where you came from, your purpose, and who walks beside you. Now, when you read about the Garden of Eden, you know the true story. This is where you were born. Peace and love to you all.